Hey guys, how's it going? Tez back again with another episode of Sunderland Career Mode, and we're coming into this one on the back of that live com, which was horrifically well received. You guys have been absolutely superb, showing the live commentaries some massive love. So thank you so much for that. We will have another live com coming up in a couple of episodes' time for that ginormous Champions League final against Bayern Munich. We're coming into some league form here. We've got 3 league games in this episode, but while the footage plays in the background, you'll be able to tell from the title. I kind of want to talk about something real football related. Obviously, we are huge football fans as a whole, as well as FIFA fans. And when it comes to something as big as Sir Alex Ferguson retiring, you kind of just can't not cover it. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I wasn't particularly keen on his managerial success, I guess. But as a football fan, you just cannot deny that he is undoubtedly the best manager of all time, in my opinion. Um, Obviously, you have to say of my opinion, but I would think that almost 95% of people in the footballing world would agree as well that he's just unbelievable. His achievements in the game are just unparalleled, especially at Man United. 13 league titles, 5 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, 2 Champions Leagues. It's no one has ever seen anything like this in the football world before. Like, you've had managers that stand out at a particular club, like Bill Shankly at Liverpool, or again at Man United, Sir Matt Busby. But Sir Alex has just taken it on to a whole nother level, and I genuinely don't think that we'll see anything else of that sort in my lifetime, at least, unless maybe I think the only man that could come anywhere close, as anyone would say, would be Jose Mourinho. He's won so much already in his career. Obviously, he's nowhere near Sir Alex, but if he keeps up his current trend of winning trophies for the next 20 years, because he's only 50, if he keeps up that trend for the next 20 years, reaches that was my phone, by the way, if that came through the mic. If he reaches 70 like Sir Alex has, then he'll definitely rival him for trophy count. But Sir Alex, it beggars belief the amount of time that he's been at that one club. Like, obviously these days managers come and go all the time, when people expect success almost immediately. Really, you see managers, especially at clubs like Chelsea, are pretty ashamed to say that Roman Abramovich isn't the best chairman. Yes, he has pennies, but he doesn't really have too much nous when it comes to longevity in a club. But anyway, I say managers come and go these days, and to have someone stay at a club for that period of time and be continuously successful for the latter period. Obviously, he didn't have the best of starts. It wasn't until they won their first league title in was it 92, 93, the first Premier League season. Before that, they weren't really the best of sides. They were threatened with relegation in one year, but just for basically 20 years, for 2 decades, they have been at the top of the table consistently, year in, year out. And that is solely down to him. Like, obviously, Arsenal have had Arsene Wenger for a long time as well, and he was very successful. Obviously, recently they have been quite successful, but they are still an extremely well-run club, and are still a club that do threaten, even though they haven't won anything, they do threaten to win trophies every single season. And again, David Moyes at Everton, he's being tipped as a potential replacement. He is 4-9. He's 9-4 on as I'm recording this to be the next manager. I'm recording this on Wednesday, by the way. This will go up on Thursday. So if an announcement has been made in the meantime as to David Moyes or anyone else taking the helm at Old Trafford, then I do apologise. But I'm recording this on Wednesday afternoon. So as it stands, there is no replacement as of yet. But David Moyes is definitely the man that looks like it. He might be the one to take it on. And to be fair, I think he probably is the best man for the job. He's used to being at the helm at a particular club for a long time. Obviously, been at Everton for over a decade now. Has done extremely well at Everton, regardless of the fact that they've had not a tiny budget, but a lesser budget, shall we say, than the rest of the teams in the top half of the Premier League. And with the sort of resources that Man United could give him, there is no reason whatsoever that he can't step into Sir Alex's shoes and really continue at least some sort of comparable success. I don't think, obviously, that anyone will be able to go into Manchester United with that squad of players and get what Sir Alex has out of them. I really don't think any other manager in the world would be able to get title after title out of that set of players. There really isn't that many standout world-class talents. Obviously, RVP is the best striker in the Premier League without shadow of doubt. You might say Vidic if he wasn't quite so injury prone, would be one of the best centre backs in the world. But the rest, is a couple like Man United fans would say every single one is a world class player. But as an outsider, an outside fan of United, or an outside fan of football, not a fan of United, I'd have to say that there aren't really that many genuinely world class players in that squad. They are just an absolute team. They work extremely hard for each other and for themselves on the pitch, and they just grind out results. They've done it. It's kind of a hallmark of Sir Alex's sides. Even when they're not playing well, they just stick together as a team and grind out results. And they have that reputation of scoring late goals, and it's just because they have the right attitude. And Sir Alex has drilled that into them over the years, and I think David Moyes could really take that on and continue that kind of mindset as a club, that sort of philosophy in the squad. Because Everton have definitely been that sort of team as well. Regardless of whether they've started the season poorly, they've always ended extremely strong and kind of built a decent squad, even though they've never really had the proper talent that you would assume that they might do, being that sort of team that's always there and thereabouts when it comes to European spots. But they've never had a player that you would say he would fit into any team in the Premier League, other than maybe Marouane Fellaini and Leighton Baines. But neither of those have been like huge influences on. They're not game winners. They're just very very good players. But I think David Moyes really could be the man to take United forward. And hopefully Jose Mourinho comes back to Chelsea, and we can try and nick a few titles, because I don't think United are going to be as much of a force as they have been. Obviously, they're still going to be there or thereabouts when it comes to the top of the table, but I think this is a chance for City and Chelsea to really try and have a United era of their own, with Sir Alex stepping down. But the commentary has kind of gone on a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. I've just kind of waffled on about Sir Alex. But anyway, that is going to wrap this episode to a close, guys. Do leave me a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts on Sir Alex's retirement, etc. are. I really am interested to see what the general consensus is amongst you guys of your feelings towards him, pro, against, where you think United are going to go forward as a club. So do let me know down below. Do of course leave the video a like if you could be so kind, that'd be amazing. And of course links on the screen to the previous episode in this series, which is that Dortmund live comment, and a random video from earlier on in the week on this channel. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.